What's good, everyone? It's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we're going to take a first look of the Nike GT Future in this silver and 3M pair. So without further ado, let's take a look at the shoes. All right, so this shoe drops on December 20th, 2025 for a retail price point of $200 USD, 245 here in Canada. Now, I've been very stoked to get this shoe in hand for nearly a year now. Nike has been teasing this shoe. I love the Nike Foamposite, Flightposite 1, 2, and 3. Just everything about posite shoes I've always loved. The Foamposite Light even that Nate Robinson wore in the slam dunk contest. I played in several colorways of those. And here in 2025, we are finally getting a look at the next posite shoe, the Nike GT Future. So without further ado, let's take a look at this crazy shoe. All right, so full disclosure, this is just a first impressions video. I actually did play 2 hours today with these on court. So I do kind of have an idea on how they're playing and breaking in, but it's a very cool shoe. Starting with the bottom, the outsole, you have some linear lines right here at the back, and then like this triangular pattern right here in the forefoot. The rubber compound is a solid rubber outsole. The lines are somewhat firm, but they do have some movement on them, as you can see right here. So my initial impression of the outsole so far is that these grip the floor really well. Like all of my movements on court, I was covered in my 2-hour session. Obviously, it's going to take time to really break these in, see how they perform over time. I do plan on taking these outdoors as well, just to kind of get a feel for them casually. But as far as performance goes thus far on the traction, it is holding up rather nicely. I don't know if I'd bring these outdoors for hooping purposes, because I do feel like these lines would kind of wear away rather quickly. And this price point of $200 is pretty crazy, but from my initial 2 or 2.5 hours thus far, the traction is holding up rather nicely. Keep it locked for the full performance review on how they perform over time. Now, as far as what you're getting for cushioning on this model, you get a double lasted midsole, so everything is housed within inside of the shoe. You don't get any foam on the outside. It's just the outsole and straight to the Foamposite upper. Now, underneath this insole right here, which is kind of like a recycled insole, it is kind of like a swoosh right here. You can see this recycled foam compound. Here at the bottom, it does say Ortholite, and it does have the imprint of that Zoom bag, which is directly under the insole. As you can see right here, you have a full-length Zoom Strobel unit. It is very comfortable underfoot. So you do have that from heel to toe. And then directly under that Zoom Strobel unit in the forefoot is another large Zoom Air unit in the forefoot. The Zoom Air feeling in the forefoot is sensational. Like, it's amazing underfoot, very bouncy, and these are surprisingly still pretty close to the floor. So far I have enjoyed this setup. I have heard some people say that have had these thus far that they can't really feel much cushioning, but me being 6'2", 225 pounds, I can definitely feel that Zoom Air sensation underfoot, and it is very nice. Not to mention the foam compound housed around that Zoom Air is Cushlon 3.0. So you're getting a very crazy cushioning setup within the shoe. I would say the cushioning setup on this model is more built for bigger players like power forwards and centers, but obviously a lot of people will be wearing this shoe off court, so you will get all day comfort in the Nike GT Future. So definitely some pretty crazy cushioning, something that kind of reminds me of the Nike Alpha project from the late 90s and early 2000s. But obviously time will tell on how this shoe performs over time. I plan on really spending a ton of time in this shoe, 15 to 20 hours from my initial performance review. And then I'm going to continue to play in it because the break-in period for the shoe is going to be rather long. But so far the cushioning I do really like in this model. Now, as far as the fit goes with this shoe, now that's where I think some people may have an issue with the shoe, is the fit. So I went true to size with a size 10.5. The length, in my opinion, actually runs long. Like, my toe is right around here at the end of the shoe, so I do have a little bit of room. Now, where the issue lies is not for me with the width, because I don't really have a wide foot, but if you do have a wide foot, you might run into some issues right here where it does taper in the forefoot, but the top of the toe box really comes down sharp and it like pushes down on the top of your toes to the point where it is a little bit uncomfortable. Now, I don't know if you go up half a size, if that will alleviate that issue, but keep in mind, my true to size 10.5, I have my toe right about here, but the top of the toe box is pushing down on my toes. So I just wanted to warn you, if you are a wide footer, I would probably go up half a size because of the narrow toe box and the way it sits on top of your toes. But if you like an ultra snug one-to-one fit, I do think you could go true to size. Just keep in mind, it is pretty cramped up here in the toe box. Also with the fit, the tongue is not gusseted at all, but you do have the laces that do run through all of these kind of holes right here. So the tongue really doesn't move around at all on you. And you do have this inner booty system right here, which is very comfortable, very snug. Personally for me, I really cranked these laces down to the point where it was like you couldn't even see the laces like this. And I didn't have any heel slip, but I do think if you lace them up looser, I wore them around the house for about an hour before going to the gym. There was a little bit of heel slip, but if you crank those laces down, you will be good to go. The laces are rather thin and the tongue is very thin as well. It's kind of like that Nike Torch system tongue with a bunch of holes for breathability. But other than that, you know, the fit for me is very snug on foot, but I do like snug fits on my basketball shoes. As far as the materials go on this shoe, you have a Foamposite-like upper. It's definitely a Foamposite material, kind of like a Foamposite light material from 2009 with that model. It's not quite as thick as like a Foamposite or Flightposite because you can see right here, it is pretty thin. But the shoe is like extremely, and I mean extremely stiff. Like you cannot bend this shoe at all. Like it's crazy. It's a very stiff shoe. It's going to take a ton of time to break in this upper. It starts off pretty thin up top, and then as it goes down to the base of the shoe for stability, I'm sure it becomes a lot thicker at the bottom of the shoe. It doesn't really crease at all. Like the shoe bends, but I played in these for 2 hours and you can see no creases. So for a lot of people that are going to wear these casually, you'll probably love that. But keep in mind, if you plan on hooping in these, like it's going to take like 10 or 15 hours to break this shoe in. Don't think you're going to put this shoe on and it's going to be comfortable right off the bat. It will take some time. And also this upper with the Foamposite material, it is like a 3M material as well. So it does have a really crazy flash when the lights hit it. You also have a 3M strip right here, a Nike swoosh right here, and you also have a Nike Torch system like tongue for breathability. You also have some holes right here for breathability, but overall the shoe is going to be a hot box on court if you decide to take these on court, that is, of course. Overall, I love the aesthetics of this shoe. Obviously it's not going to be the best hoop shoe, but I love that this is a daring design. It's very reminiscent of the Nike Hyperflight and just models from the Alpha Project era. I think this shoe is superb. The materials, you know, it's a pretty premium material as far as the upper goes. So it's gonna last very long, but for on-court purposes, it's probably not your best option. Another thing to do with the fit is keep in mind the shoe does more so fit like a low top with that inner booty. All of this is just kind of extra material. So if you take this away, it does sit right about here. So it does fit more like a low top, but I'm not mad at these wings, kind of like these bat wings for the design of the shoe. So overall, I am really enjoying the overall look and aesthetics of this model. As far as the support goes on the GT Future, you do have an internal TPU heel counter. You also have this Foamposite shell. Like as far as lateral containment and support, this shoe is insane for that. If you're a bigger player and you're making hard cuts in this model, you will be good to go. It does also have a very wide and stable base at the heel and the forefoot, and it does have this like outrigger like flange right here on the lateral and on the medial side. So really no shortage of support on this model. There is no shank play, but with this material, the outsole, the full length Zoom Air, this shoe is probably one of the stiffest shoes I've ever held in my hand and or played in on court. So keep that in mind if you're planning on picking these up for hooping in. They are an extremely stiff shoe to hoop in. Like, I can't stress that enough. These are gonna take a very long time to break in, and if they ever even break in. But for me, I love crazy designs, crazy colorways, materials, you name it. And this shoe, in my opinion, ticks all of the boxes. And I do plan on picking another pair of these up for off-court use, but no shortage of support on this model. The upper, the outsole, you know, it does more so fit like a low top, but it just really hugs your foot nicely on court. And then really quickly, as far as the weight goes, this is a US size 10.5, and these come in at 18.65 ounces. So they are lighter than the Adidas AE1s, but keep in mind, this is a very heavy shoe on foot. It's kind of clunky as well, just with the overall weight that this shoe kind of feels like on foot, but I'm not mad at all of the tech and the aesthetics of the shoe. So I am gonna kind of give it a pass, because for me, I think this shoe is gonna more so excel off court than on court. But if you don't mind playing in a shoe that's a bit heavier with a crazy design, look no further than the GT Cut Future. And then as far as the design goes, I think you guys already know, for me, this shoe is an absolute 10 out of 10. I love the design lines. I love the foamposite material, the full length zoom, double stacked in the forefoot. This shoe just kind of ticks all of the boxes for me. I just love these really sharp designs on the upper of this model. So kudos to Nike Basketball and the whole team over there, as far as just really kind of taking a daring chance on this model. Even if they're not the best performance basketball shoe on court, I love the look of them. And I think a lot of people that love foamposites will really love this model, because, you know, the Total Foamposite Max, the Foamposite 1, the Flightposite 1, 2, and 3, those are all classics. And I think this shoe, honestly, is kind of in that league as well, just with the overall design language and tech in this model. So keep that in mind. For me, the design is absolutely great. Sound off in the comments what you guys think of this model. So that's gonna do it for today's initial look on the Nike GT Future. Keep in mind, this shoe retails for 200 USD, 245 here in Canada, and they do release on December 20th. I will be hooping exclusively in this model for the next week or two and thereafter, to get a performance review out for you guys, and just to continue to break the shoe in and to see if it performs a little bit different over time. But sound off in the comments if you guys are planning on picking these up, or that gorgeous blue Wale pair that is releasing, I believe, in the DMV. A model and colorway that I would love to grab, but obviously being here in Canada, that's not gonna happen. But I do love this silver colorway, the yellow one, the red one. There's a ton of colorways that are coming out on this model, and I plan on picking up as many as I can, because I just love what this shoe offers. Sound off in the comments if you guys are planning on picking up a pair as well. But that's gonna do it for today's video on the Nike GT Future. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this shoe and the overall tech package that you are getting. As always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that would definitely help the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.
Who ready? We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. We ready, who? Motivation to youth only. Mentally feel like Kobe, I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me, I don't care if you pushing 40. You can never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili from young OG.